Good morning. It's Monday, chair yoga day. Let's go have a seat. So welcome to the second Monday in October. Windy day today, feeling fall-like only because of the wind. Later on, it's probably going to feel very summer-like because of the heat. It's supposed to be in the 80s this week. But today's chair yoga and this week's focus is going to remind us once again that the key to good living is learning to go with the flow. We are returning back to the sacral chakra as we talk about the Anamika Mudra. So the Anamika Mudra, I'm going to hold this up to the camera. I don't know how well you can see it from there. Is similar. So the mudra that we did last week was Kanishta Mudra, which was the two pinkies together. And that was called the mudra of the little finger. This week, it is called the mudra of the ring finger. That's kind of the informal name of it. I was just looking at it and I seem to have lost it. Yeah, the gesture of the ring finger, rather. Not the mudra of the ring finger, but the gesture of the ring finger. So it's the same as the Kanishta Mudra, but only you're going to use your ring fingers instead and put them together. Whereas the Kanishta Mudra was associated with the root chakra, with grounding, with connection to the earth, with, we talked about the rhythm of the earth, the seasonal changes and how we bend and flow with those and adjust our life to those. We are kind of building on that again as we head into the next chakra in the series of chakras that we always talk about. And we talk about Anamika Mudra, which is associated with the sacral chakra. Now, you may remember from past classes that the sacral chakra is associated with creativity, with going with the flow. In fact, we would often make the self-affirmation of, I go with the flow, I bend with the circumstances. Well, that's exactly what this mudra also helps you to do. But a little bit about it. This is cultivating self-healing. So taking charge of your wellness, your physical wellness, your mental wellness, trusting that the body knows what to do if you give it the right conditions, you give it the right food, you keep on moving, you keep on meditating, you keep on affirming that you have the ability to be well and find wellness, and you will have wellness. Supporting a healthy reproductive and urinary system. So, everybody goes to the bathroom, and most people have a desire to reproduce. But having healthy of those systems translates to general wellness overall. So our genitourinary system is very, very critical to our health. As things move in, they must move out. Our kidneys must filter out the bad elements and carry it away in our urine. And so if we don't have a healthy genitourinary system, then we have overall very poor health and general high toxicity in the body. Developing healthy, intimate relationships. So whether you're paired up with another human or not, we all have relationships. We have relationships with our siblings, with good friends, with our parents, with our colleagues, and having those relationships in good balance is critical for our wellness. And then finally, for those people that struggle with it, overcoming addictions and codependency. And to be honest with you, between those two things, that can be a whole lot of us. So what's important about that? Well, one very important feature of addressing addiction and of addressing issues of codependency is believing in yourself, putting your own wellness first, knowing that you have to put yourself first in these ways because nobody else is going to do it for you, and knowing that it's not bad, not wrong, in fact, very essential to take care of yourself. So I often say to people, your very first responsibility is actually to yourself. Because if you're not well, all the people connected to you are not well either. You can't take care of others if you can't take care of yourself. So reducing codependency. So I take you back again to the Anamika Mudra, the gesture of the ring finger. Find it interesting that it is the ring finger because this is customarily in most cultures where you wear your wedding band. And this mudra addresses intimate relationships. So we're going to do some poses today that help to balance the sacral chakra as we further explore the Anamika Mudra. And I'm going to also say that the affirmations that you might want to choose with this is, I think the best one to choose is, I can go with the flow. I can change with my circumstances. So let's get started. I'm gonna go ahead and place that there. So go ahead and find your comfortable place back in your seat. And let's initially get into the breath. Breathing in and out of our nose. Long, slow breaths. Ask yourself, what is your body doing right now? Are you sitting as tall as you can? Do you have any sense of feeling collapsed in the chest? If so, inhale your shoulders up, bring them back and down, and feel your heart and your chest open up. And now breathe. Do you feel like you have a nice, strong, flowing energy channel from the root of your spine all the way to the crown of your head? Do you have any points where your breathing gets stuck? As you breathe in and out, are you able to grow your crown long and high to the ceiling as you allow your shoulders to drop down? And as you do so, are you lifting out of your lower spine? Are you creating space? Do you feel strong? Let's go ahead and integrate some movement with our breath. Inhale our hands up. Exhale them out and down. Inhale our hands out and up. Exhale them out and down. Let's inhale them out and up again. And exhale, bring hands to heart center, affirming I can go with the flow. I can change to whatever the circumstances are. Inhale. Fully exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's start off with a little bit of a different pose today. We're going to start off in bound angle pose. So move to the front of your chair, place the soles of your feet together, and go ahead and allow your knees to fall out. And just sit up nice and tall in this pose. You can adjust the position of your feet forward or backward according to what works for you. I'm going to actually move mine back just slightly. Notice I use blocks because my chair is just a little bit too tall, but it works out for me because it's a nice firm chair that doesn't move. So when we do this, when we open up our hips, we start to balance out the sacral chakra. Anything that you do that helps the lower back to feel better helps to balance the sacral chakra. So I'm going to show you from the side view. I'm not going to move my chair, but I will move my blocks. I want to show you what it looks like on my back when I sit like this. So notice I'm sitting all the way to the edge of the chair. My sit bones are in contact with the chair, but I'm just sitting up. See how nice and tall I'm sitting? This allows your pelvic bowl to rotate forward slightly and encourages just a lengthening of your whole spine and even just a slight curvature of your lower spine. It's hard to see that there is a curve there, but there is. And so when we allow the pelvic bowl to shift forward, but keep our chest nice and high, it really helps the sacrum to move into the proper position. And there are lots of indicators when you're having sacral difficulties. Physically, you might have leg pains. You might feel sciatica. You might feel a lot of lower back pain. You might feel instability in your hips and your knees. And a lot of people have sacral problems with the sacroiliac joints, but they're not aware of it. They think it's something else. So I like to do a lot of exercises to strengthen the lower back and help that sacrum to stay in a good position. Go ahead and inhale and fully exhale. Inhale, exhale. One more inhale. Exhale down. Go ahead and place your feet squarely on your blocks. Stay on the edge of your seat again. So I'm going to move my blocks out just slightly because we're going to move into our chair sun salutation sequence. So inhale our hands up. Exhale them down and forward fold over your legs, but don't go down yet, okay? I just want you to forward fold over them. This is your first fold of the day. You might feel a stretching of your lower spine, but let's keep it gentle. Let's keep our chest risen to take any pressure off of the lower back. All we want to do is create length. So inhale, lift up the chest. Exhale, lower the chest on your legs. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale, lower your chest. Inhale, lift it back up. Draw your shoulders down. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise up. Hands out to the side, all the way to the top. Exhale, hands to prayer. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale the hands down. Inhale them out and up. And then exhale, swan dive forward, laying across your legs again. Place your hands on your feet. Inhale your chest up. Exhale down. Inhale the chest up. Exhale it down. And then inhale it back up again. Exhale it down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale our hands down. Inhale our hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Take your right foot and just kind of place it back behind your chair. All right, we're kind of like mimicking Anjaneyasana by doing this. And by doing so, you're opening up this hip flexor here in the front, your psoas, right? Inhale your hands up. Exhale your hands down. Bring this foot to the front, lower down. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower down. Take your left foot back. Again, it's like we're mimicking Anjaneyasana. So make it straight and strong behind you and just stretch out your psoas and rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Go ahead and bring your foot to the center. Rise all the way up. Exhale down. Inhale. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive over your legs. Take your right foot back. Rise up. Exhale, circle your hands down. Bring your right foot back. Lower your head. Inhale, lift up your chest. Exhale down. Rise up, hands out to the side. Inhaling them up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Take your left leg back. You have to move over to one side or the other to do this. Rise up. Exhale, circle your hands down. Bring your feet together. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, chest down. Rise up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Let's do that a third time. Inhale. Exhale your hands down. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward over your legs. Take your right foot back. Oops, I just moved my chair. Okay, rise up. Exhale, circle your hands down. Bring your right foot to join your left. Fold over your legs. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, rise your hands up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Move to the left side of your chair. Take your left foot back. As you fall down, rise up. And then exhale, circle your hands down. Take your left foot to join your right. Inhale, rise up your heart center. Exhale down, and then rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. That is immensely effective in opening up the front of your hips. So any of you office warriors there in the audience, that's a great thing to do in the middle of your workday, to just open up your hips. So let's just go ahead and actually take that again. So this is Anjaneyasana, kind of modified. And let's just rise up our hands and hold this. And as you're in this position, lift your heart center up as you draw your right leg back. Just keep on doing that. Draw your shoulders down your back. Draw your head back in alignment with your shoulders. And continue to work this pose that helps strengthen your entire back and helps strengthen your legs. Let's inhale one more time. Exhale, circle our hands down. And then go ahead and bring our foot back to the center. Let's do that on the left-hand side. Take our left foot back into Anjaneyasana. All right. Ah, boy, I feel that. Rise our hands up. While you're sitting here in Anjaneyasana, lifting up your heart center, lifting up out of your lower back, draw your shoulders down your spine. Draw your head back in alignment with your arms and your shoulders, and just hold this. Turn your pinkies towards each other and breathe deeply. One more inhale, and then exhale. Bring your hands down, move to the center of the chair. Let's circle our hands up. And then exhale, fold forward. Now maybe we've created enough mobility in the spine that we can start to fold forward in between our legs. So go ahead and separate your blocks if you have blocks, or just separate your feet. So inhale your hands up, exhale, swan dive forward. Now fall between your feet. Pay attention to how your lower back is feeling. If you feel tension in the lower back, just lift up your heart center. Leading with your heart protects your lower spine. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to prayer. So let's go ahead and take Goddess Pose. Goddess Pose is another sacral balancing position. So to go into Goddess, what we do is we turn our legs out. This is going to be kind of strange sitting on a chair, but the chair is a wonderful support, and it's a great opportunity. So turn your feet out as far as you can and draw your knees back to be in alignment with your baby toes. And then sit all the way up, draw your shoulders back and down. We're sitting in a chair, but there's a lot of work happening here. And then if you really want to, you can take your arms into the Goddess position, but continue to draw your shoulders back and down as you separate your legs, using your gluteus muscles to widen your pelvis and to have your knees in alignment with your baby toes. So when you look down at the floor, in between your legs, you should fully see the inside of each leg and the arches of your feet. If you start to see, watch what I just did with my knees. If you look down and you see just knees and heels, then you know you're not in good alignment. So draw those knees back using these muscles back here, all your gluteus muscles, make them work. And then draw your shoulder blades together, pull your belly button into the spine, lift up the crown of your head, and just work this Goddess. Feel strong. Allow your heart center to shine. Let's hold that one more breath. And then exhale. Go ahead and release. Pull everything back in. That was really actually quite the hip opener. Inhale your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward down. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, rise all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. That felt really very good, actually. I'm glad that we did that. And another nice balancing pose that I want to do with you today is going to be Utkatasana or camel pose. So let's inhale our hands up. And let's initially just take it while we're sitting in the chair. We're also going to do it sitting down. So sitting in the chair, what I just want you to do, keep your hands on your knees. Lift up your heart center. Lifting, 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 and then draw your shoulders back and down. And then maybe, just as we would put our hands behind us on blocks or on our heels or on our sacrum, let's today choose our sacrum. And then we'll also try the chair. So place your hands on the sacrum, fingers pointed down. Pull your shoulders back, pull your elbows back. Lift up your heart center. Lifting, lifting, lifting. And when you can lift no more, then allow your throat to open, allow the top of your back to curl. Try not to curve your lower back, push your hips slightly forward as you move backwards. And then go ahead and lift up by tucking your chin to your chest, pulling your belly button into the spine, fold over as your counter pose. Rise up. We're going to do that again, but this time I'm going to encourage you to use the back of your chair just as if you were on the floor and had your hands on your heels. Okay, again, remember, even though we are sitting, don't curl your tailbone back. Don't move your sits bones back. Move them forward as you lift out. So did you see that movement? So let's just pretend I'm sitting just normal, like, you know, I move my hips forward like we're doing the cat-cow, right? Or I move my hips backwards like we're doing cat-cow. So there's a little curve in my back. Watch my fingers and watch my hips. Did you see that movement? Saw my belly button come in, saw my hips come slightly forward. And then when I rise up to do camel, I keep them in that same position. They don't move backwards, okay? So inhale our hands up. Exhale our hands down. Place them on the chair behind you. Lift up your heart center. And again, don't allow your hips to move back. Lift up your heart center, draw your shoulders back, draw your elbows back, and then take your camel position that way. You can even grab, you know, a lower part of the chair if you want. And then go ahead and tuck chin to chest, pull the belly button in and sit up. Inhale our hands nice and high, and exhale, swan dive forward. Lay across your legs, allow your back to stretch back out. Inhale into a flat spine, lifting up your chest. Exhale, lower. Inhale into a flat spine, lifting up the chest. And then exhale, lower down. And then we'll lift up the chest again. Exhale down. And then rise all the way up. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. So why don't we do a little bit of standing by the chair and doing the whole sun salutation sequence again, this time only standing. So I'm gonna move my blocks out of the way. And I'm gonna turn my chair to the side. All righty. Okay, so standing in front of your chair. Inhale, rise your hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Place your hands on the chair. Place your forehead on the chair. You want your sits bones to move into the air. You can bend your legs if you need to. And you don't want this part of your spine to be rounded. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Take your right foot back as we drop into that lunge. Drawing your shoulders down your spine, pushing your hips forward towards the chair. Go ahead and open up your right hip. Inhale, exhale. Place your left knee back to join your right knee. And I guess we'll kind of do a modified plank. We'll do the inchworm this way. So we'll move our hips up and back, head and chest down, move them up towards the chair, right? And then take your right foot forward, move your hips forward as you draw your shoulders down your back and away from your ears. Tuck your left toes, lift them up, bring your left foot to join your right. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, lower your forehead down to the chair. And then inhale, hands out to the side as we rise all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, our hands down. Inhale, our hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Place your hands on the chair, forehead to the chair. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Take your left foot back and drop your knee. And then go ahead and draw your hips towards the chair as you bring your shoulders back and down. Ah, my goodness, that feels good. And then move back. Take your right knee to join your left and pretend like we're doing, Chaturanga Dandasana. So just move your hips out, move your shoulders down, and then pull them forward. Woo. Then take your left foot forward, move your hips forward. There's that left foot forward, right. Move your hips forward as you bring your shoulders back and down into that Anjaneyasana lunge. Then tuck your right toes, lift them up to join your left foot. Inhale into a flat spine, exhale down. And then inhale all the way up. And then exhale, hands to prayer. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale, our hands down. Inhale, our hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Place your hands on the chair. Place your forehead on the chair. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Take your right foot back. Drop your knee. Pull your shoulders down and back as you move your hips forward. Very nice. Take your left knee back to join your right. Pretend like you're doing inchworm. So hips can be up or back, shoulders and chest down, and then using your arms, pulling your chest out. Take your right foot forward. Move your hips forward as you bring your shoulders back and down. Tuck your left toes, lift up your knee. Bring your left foot to join your right. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down, forehead to the chair. And then inhale, rise all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale. Exhale, our hands down. Inhale, our hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward, placing our hands on the chair, placing our forehead on the chair. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down, taking our left foot back, dropping our knee, moving our hips forward as we draw our shoulders back and down. Bring your right knee to join your left, taking that kind of sort of Chaturanga Dandasana, lowering down, and then pull your elbows back as if you're going into upward facing dog, right? Then take your left hip knee forward, keeping your right knee on the floor. Draw your shoulders back and down as you move your hips forward. And then tuck your right toes on the exhale. Bring your right foot forward to join your left. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale, lowering your forehead to the chair. Inhale, rising all the way up. And then exhale, hands to prayer. Again, you office warriors, this is stuff you can do in the middle of the workday to start to open up your hips, open up the body, counteract the effects of all the sitting that we do. Kind of funny that we're doing chair yoga to talk about the effects of sitting. Inhale. Exhale, our hands down. Inhale, our hands up. Swan dive forward, hands to the chair. Drop your forehead to the chair. Inhale into a flat spine. Bring your right leg back. Drop your knee. Draw your shoulders back and down as you move your hips forward. Exhale, bring your left knee back to join your right. Kind of lower down. Then using the strength of your elbows, draw your heart center up to the chair. Take your right foot forward. Move your hips forward as you draw your shoulders down. Tuck your left toes. Bring them up to join the right. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Hands out to the side. Exhale, hands to prayer. Inhale. Exhale, our hands down. Inhale, our hands up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Place your hands on the chair, forehead to the chair. Inhale into a flat spine. Exhale down. Take our left foot back. Drop our knee. Move our hips forward as we bring our shoulders down. Tuck our left toes. Bring our right knee back to join our left. Move our hips back as we drop our heart center to the floor. Pull our chest forward, bending our elbows and bringing them towards our body to do that. Then take our left foot forward, leaving our right knee on the floor, drawing our shoulders back and down, pulling our hips forward. Then tuck our right toes, bring them back to join the left. Inhale into flat spine, exhale down, and then inhale, hands out to the side, rising all the way up. Exhale, hands to prayer. Very lovely. Let's go ahead and do that camel toe, or camel that I said that we could do on the ground. Sorry about that. That sounds like a high school joke. I don't mean for that to happen. Okay, so I want you to be on your knees. Your hip points are facing the chair, okay? So let's initially do what we call the baby camel toe. The baby camel. I keep saying camel toe. Baby camel. Okay, so place your hands on your thighs. You're sitting in a deep stretch here on the floor. Go ahead and pull your shoulders back and down. Pull your elbows together. Rise up out of your hips and start to curl back. So this is the most rudimentary, basic form of camel. It's totally acceptable because it still has that effect of opening up the chest and allowing the heart to pull up towards the ceiling. That's all very good and very beneficial and teaches you about the movement in this pose. And then exhale, go ahead and just kind of lean forward, placing your arms on your chair, stretching out your back. Very lovely. And then the next version, we're going to rise up on our knees and we're going to do the same thing. So draw your shoulders back. See how that changed? Drawing them back, my whole body changed. Move your hips a little bit forward. Rise up out of your hips. And then while you're holding on to the chair, continue lifting out of the hips. Continue to draw your shoulder up to the sky. Your heart up to the sky. Drawing your shoulders back and down. And move your chin up. And when you can't grow any more out of that, if you want, you can dip your head back and start to curl your back. One more inhale. And then exhale. Go ahead and sit back down. Place your hands on the chair and kind of lean forward on the chair. Rise back up. We're going to do one more version. Move a little closer to the chair and try to move your hip bones into the chair as we do it again. So stand up nice and tall on your knees. Draw your heart center up. Pull your shoulders down. Start to lift up out of the hips, pulling your belly button in against your spine while you're doing so. And then move your hips forward as you curl back. One more inhale. And then exhale, bring your chin to your chest, pull your belly button in. Go ahead and sit back down. And go ahead and place your forehead on the chair with your arms on the chair. Very, very, very nice. Let's move our chair back into its position and sit back in our chair. And to continue to encourage mobility in the spine, let's do some cow-cat poses. Okay? Those really help to encourage mobility of the spine. So sit kind of forward in your seat, place your hands on your thighs. Inhale, draw your heart center forward, allow your sits bones to float back. This is cat. And then on the exhale, draw your back to the back of the chair, roll your shoulders, tilt your tailbone forward. That's your cow or your cat. And then move forward into cow, drawing your heart center through, sits bones floating to the back of the chair. And then exhale, pull your belly button against the spine, curling your back to the back of the chair, rolling your shoulders forward, rolling your tailbone forward. Inhale, reverse that, drawing your heart center through, allowing your sits bones to float back. And then on the exhale, reverse all that, drawing your spine to the back of the chair, tilting your tailbone, rolling your shoulders. One final cow, allowing your heart center to pull through, allowing your sits bones to float back. Exhale, back to neutral. And so let's do one more hip opening pose before we go into a final visualization for the day. So let's take our right foot, and cross it over our right knee. Okay, initially this might feel kind of uncomfortable. Everybody is different. I know for me, my right side is never as open as my left. It's kind of coincidental that we start everything on the right because that is my tight side, and it's probably good for me to take care of it first. So initially, just sit up nice and tall, lifting out of your lower spine, giving room for this hip to start to open up. When we create space, we allow the opening to take place naturally. I'm going to actually move my left foot more into the middle. Okay, so if you feel tension, also pull your toes back so that your pinky toes are kind of moving towards your knee. There's a stabilizing muscle right here that helps keep this part of the knee from feeling any discomfort. And that discomfort you feel there actually comes from all the way back here. We've got the iliotibial band that goes down here. So if these muscles are tight, this one's going to pull against the knee, but pulling our pinky toes back stabilizes that joint. It's all connected together. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so now if you feel ready, you feel like you've allowed it to open up enough, then start to move your heart center forward, not down, forward. As you move it forward, if it's meant to go down, it's going to go down. Where you feel like you've gone to the edge of your discomfort as far as you think you should go, then I encourage you to stop. If you feel like you still have space and you still feel like it's a positive and good stretch for you, then you keep on moving forward. And as you move forward over time, it's just going to naturally come down your heart center. And eventually you may be laying completely across your leg in this sitting pigeon pose. That's totally okay. So you just follow what your body tells you to do. Listen to the signals that it sends. That's like the ultimate expression of going with the flow. So what you want to aim for is not a rounded back, but a straight spine, and the energy is moving forward. So your heart is moving in the same direction as your toes are pointed. And like right now, I've reached my edge. I don't feel like I can go any further or don't want to yet. I'm just going to hold this for a moment. And what you'll find too is when you've reached your edge and you hold it, then after a few seconds of just doing purposeful breathing, Breathing evenly in, breathing evenly out. You might find that you have a little bit more space. But what I always tell people is never muscle yourself into an extension. Just allow the body to move as it's meant to. Keep your principles of alignment solid. So don't fall out of those principles because you've developed some flexibility. That's the time actually when you need them the most. Because when you have too much flexibility, you can create instability. And you don't want that. See, I just felt things open up a little bit more. And I fell down a little bit further, close to my legs. And I'm going to call that good. So I'm going to inhale and rise up. I don't know if you saw, but my leg changed. It came down a little bit more. Go ahead and replace that leg slowly back next to the other one. Okay. Pick up your left leg, cross it over your right. Now you may find, you can already tell how much more open this hip is on this side. You may find one side is more open than the other. And we honor those differences by not pushing too far on the side that is already open. By kind of restraining how far we'll go in that pose. But on the other side, we're encouraging it to equal up to the side that is more open or more strong. So we have different ways we might approach each side of the body, but we're always seeking balance and equality. Okay, inhale, rise up, create space, create space. Feel the difference when you rise up in your chair. What does it do to that hip? Take note of the sensations that you have. They tell you something about your body. Inhale, rise up again. And then on your exhale, start to move forward. You can tell how much faster I can move on this side. I've reached the edge that I think I should honor right now. So I'm just going to stay here. Notice that my toes are drawn back and my pinky toe is drawn towards this knee. Even though this is a more open side, I still have to keep that joint stable. Always be considering those principles. How do I keep it all stable? Continuing to move forward at the pace that your body feels comfortable. Honoring the body that you inhabit. Honoring it. For me, this side is really so much more comfortable and opens so much more easily. But notice that I'm not going crazy into the bend. I'm really at about the same place I was with the other one. And then go ahead and inhale up. With care, place your left foot back down to your right. We move slowly because you've really extended your hips, which places pressure on the outside of your knees here. So we want to avoid that. We're going to take another forward fold pose that's just nice for dropping the brain, dropping the crown, and opening up the shoulders. So inhale your hands up. And then exhale, clasp them together at the root of your spine. Lift your heart center up. Oh, and then on your exhale, fold over your legs. And if it's available, you can keep your hands just pulled down away from your spine. Or you can pull your shoulders away from your ears. You can pull your hands down to the base of your spine. That's one option. Or if you want, you can bring them up overhead into blade. Be very careful. This is a lot of stress on the shoulders. If you're not ready, just keep your hands down. If you can't bring your hands together, you can just hold them out behind you, kind of like Superman arms. So, yogi's choice. Inhale, rise up. Feel that. Oh. And let's take our right arm across the body, stretch out the back of that shoulder. And then bring your arm up alongside your ear, pat your back, take your opposite hand, and pull your elbow back and down gently. Take our left arm, drawing it across the body. And then take it up alongside our ear, pat our back, take our right hand on our left elbow, and draw it back and down ever so slightly to stretch out the underside of the arm. Very nice. Go ahead and put our hands down, cross our right foot over our left leg. Go ahead and place your hand on the outside, your left hand on the outside of your wrist, of your right knee, or if you want, you can even draw your elbow that way and just start to engage in a gentle twist. One more inhale, and then exhale. Turn forward, place your right foot down, pick up your left leg, cross it over your right leg. Again, placing your right hand on the outside of your left knee, or if you want, you can even place your arm on the outside of your left knee, and then turn. Go ahead, return forward. Find your way back into your chair in a comfortable seated pose, so you can move all the way back if you want. Sitting back, placing your shoulder blades against the back of the chair. And then start to inhale and exhale gradually through the nose. And while you're sitting in this position, start to think about what it means to be flexible and to go with the flow. Think about what is required to do that. I was walking with a dear friend yesterday and we talked about perspective. So our ability to go with the flow and change our behavior and our reaction to the circumstances greatly has to do with how we view them and what perspective we bring. So is the perspective that you bring, is it one of feeling a sense of loss? Is it one of feeling a sense of being restricted? Is it a sense of having had something taken away from you? Or do you view it in terms of an opportunity? Is it a time when you can do something you never did before? Is it a time when you can learn new skills? Is it a time that you can demonstrate to yourself that you can still come out of whatever the situation it is with successes? Is it a time that you can take what's available, what's left over, if you will, and pull something positive out of it. I invite you to ask yourself, which perspective makes you feel best? Which one makes you feel most empowered? Which one helps you tap into who you are? Which one helps you tap into your strengths? Which one helps you tap into your creativity? Think of a time in your own life when you had plans made and then suddenly you discovered things were happening that prevented you from carrying out those plans as you initially conceived them. Remember what your initial response was. It may have been horror, shock, anger, frustration. And then remember what it was you did to regroup. And then remember how you formed a plan and how you were able to take that situation and make the most out of it. And then remember what the final result was. Sometimes our lives are too scripted. It's healthy to be prepared. It's helpful to make plans. But one of the things that the sacral chakra also teaches us is that our attachments can be fluid. We don't have to fully attach to one way of doing things. We can read the situation and make adjustments accordingly. And in the end, we may find that it turned out better than if we had gone with our initial plan. So I invite you to always have a plan, but not be overly attached, and to be willing to change with the circumstances as they present themselves. Say to yourself, I am flexible. I can go with the flow. Now, wherever you have drifted to, let's come back to the present moment. Go ahead and wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Shrug your shoulders up to your ears. Bring them back down. And go ahead and open your eyes. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale your hands up. Exhale the hands out and down. Inhale the hands out and up. Exhale them out and down. And then let's inhale them out and up one more time. Exhale, bring hands to prayer. Bow your head. As you head into the rest of your week and certainly tackle the first day of the week, Monday, remember Anamika Mudra, the gesture of the ring finger, that reminds us that we can bend with the circumstances, we can go with the flow, we can take charge of our own wellness. The light in me joins the light in you. The yogi in me honors the yogi in you. Namaste.